Back live, Carrick left it behind, and then was held.
Advantage. No, it's going the other way.
Carrick with the ball. Fine Smoker, spent the early part of the match on the bench. Brings it back into the corridor on the attacking side, but I wonder if it'll work. Running towards it is Dooley Lee. He pops it back into Lloyd, to Brown. Long kick, good. Finds Cox back at half forward. He spent the third quarter at centre half back. So, Willie, they kicked, I think, only one goal since since half-time. And that was by Smoker halfway through the third quarter. 1 goal 10. Make that, 1 goal 11. Angling for a goal. I don't think you'll get a job as a goal umpire in an afterlife.
No, off the boot, I thought that was good. That's where you should kick it, but Breeze didn't grab it. Perhaps it's dropped a bit. So the sting really gone out of it now as this impressive young Carlton VFL team cruises away to what's shaping as a 10-goal victory, and they're not done with yet as Manton's gone for a bit of a trot up the field and has it on centre wing. He seems to be competing with O'Reilly for a spot on the senior side. Well, they all missed it there. Favola trying to scoop it back in with the one arm, couldn't do it. There's Allen, is it, with his injury worries? Young man just explaining what the problem is.
Talking about a medial ligament there, that inside ligament.
Oh dear.
Which is it's only a strain. They're not so bad. Not better than any of the other ligaments in the knee, but it could be just a slight twist there. That's the usual test for the medial.
So the margin's 9 goals, Phil, and well done. Snap. Is that another one? I think it is, and Jukes has extended it to 10.
Well, when you look at it, they're bigger than the Seagulls, aren't they? All over the ground. You look at Jukes there, and their running game is much better. And in reality, they're just a classier side. The Seagulls have really struggled to get system, Roscoe.
I agree, and I don't know that we could put anything down to a bit of a mental lapse after a great win last week. No. They've just been outclassed, really, haven't they?
Yeah, I suppose you had a couple of players into that side. This is the problem where it's hard to pick because there's a couple of blokes there that come back and the whole nature of the game changes.
Yeah, But Steve Collins, not any forward.
Yeah, well, you get a Plunkett who's a small, but then you might have Matthew Croft might end up playing, and it might balance it out. Well, and there was, I think, a couple of other players too that went up.
Perhaps a Credial could.
Yep. Durley, I think he plays for Werribee. I think he's on there.
Yes.
Oh, is he? No.
Yeah. But yes, here's Merrington. You have to get some purchase on that. Nailed in the back, let go. Donaldson. There's the Bulldog rookie, Josh Marnie. A lot of players started really well, but have gone quiet. Good mark. During is strong in the body, and a good kick. Yeah, I think we were talking, Phil, that if 6 games required in the VFL to qualify for the finals, unless the AFL side is playing on the same day.
Well, of course, the Blues could be strengthened. I mean, Fraser Brown didn't take much part. I think if he gets a bit of footy under his belt, he'll go up to the seniors. But Mark Porter would come back with Matthew Allen returns in the finals. So there's probably, with 3 or 4 injuries out of the senior list, would be 3 or 4 fringe players to come back from that AFL team. So
that's right. You look at this side that's playing today. I don't know whether a Murphy would qualify. I'm not sure how many games Fraser Brown's played. Sorry, not Murphy, I meant Fraser Brown. Get them mixed up. This remind me of television programs and characters and the like. It's a bit confusing, isn't it?
It is. It lures you to attack again. But Brown, he won't get that out.
Anyway, on the ball. Well, perhaps, sorry, Ross, perhaps qualification for the AFL clubs mightn't be so much of a problem like Carlton because their seniors, their AFL team would be in it for a long time.
You would think so, and look at the quality of this side that's on the park today. They could do a fair bit of damage.
I wonder how they lost their first two. Carlton kicks his second. So, since half-time, that's 13 goals to 1 as Wilson comes back on and Brown goes off for the Blues. For the Seagulls, here's Manton contesting. And this is a free kick holding the ball against Brown. Gee, it's pretty hard, isn't it? Look, he's trying.
Well, I mean, he was grabbed simultaneously with the football. Like, as he grabbed the football, he was perhaps... Well, I think so, because how do you rule prior opportunity? Is he saying you were grabbed, but he didn't actually make an attempt to get rid of the ball, which is another aspect of that law, too, so...
And he had absolutely no control. The tackle was so fierce that he was just sort of...
It was like a bone in a dog's mouth, really, wasn't he? That big Rottweiler you've got at home, Roscoe.
That's right. I need to keep you away. Williamstown 1-11 in the second half. Carlton 13-3. 14 shots each, but that really doesn't say much. It's just been the quality of their movement forward.
Why'd you bother putting it forward?
So percentage is going to be pretty significant later in the year, and the Blues doing well on that front. Marnie out of the centre, big long kick. Glenn Manton has taken a wonderfully controlled mark.
He's looking for the car, I think, Rob Manton. He thinks that'll influence Roscoe. Look. Oh, lucky.
I don't know, a couple of the youngsters might have the opportunity to grab a car. They seem to be battling it out at the moment. Sadi Ghazi is not young, but Ryan Houlihan is, and he's smothered and set it up out here towards Orlando eventually. He goes inboard to Murphy. Murphy normally uses it well, and look at that. Oh, Favola far too casual. And West kept on going. He's a real trier, Troy West. Favola won't like that, nor will his coach. Marnie grabs it now, and Cox is all on his own. Wants to play on, but has to go onto his right. Yeah. And there it is. You don't often see it. Has he floated one in for a goal? No, across the face.
You wouldn't have thought when he went onto the right he had a snowflake's hope in hell of putting that ball through the sticks, but he went close.
That's 4 behinds, I think, to Simon Cox.
Look, but love that risky broadcasting of yours, Phil.
Gee, I tell you what, I worked on it. As the words were coming out, I was working overtime.
Man to Orlando. Blues to centre wing to Julio in the contest. Donaldson. Back to Bowden. Now, he should be able to go from there. Win behind him. Feeds it off. Ghazi. Wobbles it and he squeezed it through, I think. Ironic chance in the Floyd Pavilion. Was that 2-12 to Williamstown since half-time.
The camel through the eye of the needle, Roscoe. From the Liberties wonder. Yes, it was quite interesting, really, with Bowden, wasn't he? Wasn't sure. His kicking's been a bit ordinary today, Patrick Bowden. Finally decided that's a good move. Draws the player, and Sadi, gee, was off the deck before he kicked the ball. I don't know what he was actually doing, but it was a goal anyway.
Good chipper. Lost a bit of control with that hand motion before it went onto the boot, didn't it? But the result, spot on. Ralph, wild hand pass around the lead. Murphy on the wing, picks it up just inside. Got to confront Lloyd, and couldn't get past him. Brad Lloyd's had an ineffective day, but I mean, he's a big possession getter, isn't he?
Ineffective, I think, is the correct word, because he hasn't been able to set any real play up, Rob. You know, he's got hold of it, I don't know, probably 15 times, 11 times. There you go.
Here's number 12. Bowden late, couldn't get there. Ghazi searching for the footy. Kick around the corner towards Murphy. Oh, he's a clever player.
That's a good sign, that twisting too, Rob.
Yep, he'll just get better and better as the year goes on. It was a terrible-looking injury in the grand final last year against the Bombers, against the Kangaroos. Freudian slip. So Dooley to Wilson. Wilson in board here to his teammate in Donaldson. Donaldson a bit unsure. Winding down the clock here. 59 points the margin. It was only 2 points the difference at half-time. Vance goes short, hugs the line, but Merrington got there just in time, or did he? No. Out of bounds.
Good, Matty.
So David Round to send the Seagulls forward once more. 5 goals, 6 goals in the quarter, so probably not a lot of playing time left. Gee, it's a high kick. Cox has to spoil. Didn't reach him.
Talking TV too, Ross, I think you'll have to step me out through Monica the Glen. I sort of tried to watch it the other day, but it was a bit too complicated for me. I must have missed a bit somewhere.
No. I just had one fewer red during dinner.
Yeah, I think that, I had a couple of Chardonnays by the time I turned it on.
Okay, you get it.
Yeah, you can enjoy the game, you two, on with John Clark and...
Oh, yes, yes, you got to see that. That is terrific.
Here's Dooley.
John Clark, what a circus.
Spotting Taylor, Lloyd, chased by Chatfield. Ghazi working hard. Dooley back the other way. Not with the flow of the play. Sunning coming out here and finding Cox. Now, he hasn't kicked a goal. He's certainly kicked a number of behinds. I've got at least 4. Maybe he can finish with a goal.
You better run, Roscoe, running out of time.
And Ross Booth is off. Consolation prize, this one for Simon Cox, if he can kick it. 52 metres out. Big, long kick. He's missed to the left. 5 behinds for Simon Cox. He won't be happy with that tally. But what a performance from this Carlton VFL team. They led by just the 2 points at half-time, and then they just blew Williamstown away in the second half. Willie's inaccuracy didn't help them, but Carlton far superior here this afternoon, Phil.
Yes, it was a great performance, a good young side the Blues had in today, and there's a couple of boys there, Chatfield, Merrington, Favola, great players. I think they'd be very happy. The Brains Trust there in the Carlton boxes, there's one of them, Favola. Like him, he had the better of Troy West. You see Troy West. Troy West, one of the very good VFL defenders. Merrington, another good player, very classy. And Ronnie Giulio, the captain, he played well too. Ross is trying to round up the man of the match, and you can back it in as a young player. Some very good players. Not a bad crowd, ordinary kind of day. Sardi there make his way up. But look, a good sign there for the Blues. I think they'll go on and make the 8, Rob, and that'll be good for the competition. They bring a crowd, you would think. So with those lead-up finals at Port, I reckon we're going to do pretty well with those games when we head off to Waverley for the big one, out to the heritage-listed Waverley Park. But one last, Dame Nellie Melba. And where's that man Roscoe? Has he got someone yet? There's some very good players, though,
Well,
and that's a...
Who would you be thinking, Phil? Who would be... You've mentioned Favola and Merrington. Perhaps Ryan Houlihan might be a chance, young Chatfield.
I reckon it's out of Chatfield or Houlihan. I thought Houlihan did some brilliant things. Maybe Chatfield just had the ball a bit more. We see the scores. Interesting, Rob, though, isn't it? 9-23. They had 2 more scoring shots. They did get the ball up there, but then again, Carlton were definitely the better side. Favola, great contest there. Merrington I liked, and there wasn't much really happening for Williamstown. As you see the Floyd there. Righto, Roscoe, I hope you got it right there.
Yes, one of 2, Adam Chatfield or Ryan Houlihan. It's Ryan Houlihan. He's just turned 18, but he doesn't have his licence. It never matter. He can lend it to his mum or dad. Here's Stan Petty.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Thanks a lot.
A terrific win.
Thanks a lot.
Half a coffee forward, the keys the coffee
Thanks
forward.
a lot. Beautiful.
Ryan, that was a fantastic win. In spite of the intrepid conditions here at Williamstown, you handled them brilliantly.
Yeah, the boys have got pretty good skills, so we just come out here and wanted to work hard on our hard stuff, and the skills just come, so it was good.
And you're really on a roll now, 8 out of 9 for the Blues.
Yeah, it's good. The seniors are going well, so we're just carrying it on for them. So, yeah, 10 in a row for them and 8 in a row for us, so it's good.
Good on you. Well, our man of the match today, Ryan Houlihan. And not 18, Phil, but he can give it to someone. He's 18, but he hasn't got his licence, but he'll share it around.
Thanks, boys.
Oh, well, congratulations to young Ryan there from the Cora Rutherglen area. And he was pretty good today. And, gee, they've been an impressive family, haven't they, the Houlihans? He's the 3rd now to have played league footy.
Well, I think you'd look at him and say he's definitely got a future. I mean, he's a brilliant runner. He's got good height. He's playing on a wing, you know, and he does remind me, you know, of a bloke like Mick Turner, the former Geelong champion, that great dash. So, fantastic performance, really, from the Carlton side. Good young players. They're going to be handy in the finals.
And we think they will get there. And next week, we've got another good game in store for you as we go to Victoria Park or McHale Stadium. who coached the Pies for 38 years and played 240 games. It is a true legend of the game as the Pies take on Sandringham. Now, Collingwood also in line for a final spot. Phil and Sandy, one of the better teams going around.
Well, they are. They went down the other week, so that'll be a very big game. Collingwood, can they get up at home? And you Collingwood supporters, we need to see you down at the old Vic Park or Jock McHale Stadium. Big opportunity to be there, get a crowd. Good game if they can get up. Maybe Sav Rocker will be playing. I don't want to put the moz on you, Sav, but, you know, it'd be good for us, wouldn't it?
It would be good for us. OK, it's pretty dark and gloomy here at Williamstown, particularly if you're a Seagull supporter, because the Seagulls got pumped here by a very impressive and young Blues lineup, but we'll be back next week. See you then.
Thanks very much, guys, and a great call. Let's take a look quickly at the AFL.